Presenting the Sterling COILMASTER automatic plastic coil binding system. For nearly 50 years, Sterling has been solving bindery problems. They have done so again by introducing the first inline automatic plastic coil binding system after having introduced the first automatic plastic coil binder. Bind up to 700 books per hour on the COILMASTER. To see the world's first automatic tabletop plastic coil binder, please look at the Sterling COILMASTER Jr. video. The Sterling COILMASTER is the only patented inline plastic coil binder and former built in North America. The Sterling coil maker forms coil at any pitch, any length, up to 48 inches or 122 centimeters. The mandrel controls the pitch, such as 4:1 or 3:1. Changing mandrel sizes can be accomplished in about a minute. Notice how 3 axles press against the plastic filament as the coil is being formed. Other machines only use 2 axles, creating less uniform coil on larger sizes. This is one of the many reasons why most of the plastic coil made in the US is made on this machine. The electric eye controls the length. The coil is fed onto a conveyor so that it can cool while it is still perfectly uniform and straight. All settings are made on the digital control panel. The coil is fed onto the in-feed conveyor on the COILMASTER inserter. The inserter can bind books from 8mm or 5/16 of an inch up to 42mm or 1.7 inches in diameter. The pitch of the comb, which guides the coil, should match the pitch of the forming mandrel. The diameter of the bullet must match the diameter of the forming mandrel. To change bullet sizes, simply take out the bullet assembly and snap in another bullet. The Sterling coil binders, unlike other coil binders, can bind books using any pitch, negating the need to buy new dies for your punching machine. Simply order the machine with the pitch you prefer. A true 4:1, 3:1, 2.5:1, 0.2475, 0.248, or 0.312 inches, 6mm center to center, 8mm center to center, or 9.5 center to center pitch. As you can see, the COILMASTER, unlike other coil binders, can accommodate round or oval holes. Sterling accommodates the customer's needs rather than dictating what pitch or what type of hole to use, such as an oversized oval hole. As you can see, any pitch that allows for a healthy margin, such as 4:1, is unattainable on any other machine. The Sterling line of coil binders facilitates the capability of pulling pins prior to punching. Here, the outside 2 pins are pulled prior to punching to ensure that an attractive margin, the distance between the first hole and the head of the book, or the last hole and the foot of the book, is achieved. This time-honored standard when binding for double loop wire can now be achieved with plastic coil. Since other machines do not have a spreading device, the coil cannot jump into the first hole if the margin is wider than the bridge. The sheet must fit between the pins. If a sheet is not exactly 11 inches or A4, it must be trimmed down to avoid punching a partial hole. The COILMASTER can accommodate a slim margin, or with the patented spreading device, a healthy margin. We are now binding books 25 millimeters, or an inch thick, with 30 millimeters, or 1 1/4 of an inch in diameter, with 0.23 millimeters, or 090 gauge coil. Unlike its competitors, Sterling was not satisfied with binding books up to 20 or 30 millimeters. The thick book package allows for the binding of books from 34 millimeters to 42 millimeters in diameter. You can bind books up to about 1.5 inches thick. The thick book package includes large knives, a wider pitch comb, a vibrating jogger, larger tracks on the coil maker, as well as a larger blower fan to cool the larger diameter coil. Why settle for less? Binding thick books manually is much more laborious than binding thin ones. The coil maker can be purchased separately and produce 12-inch lengths of coil at speeds up to 30 coils per minute, saving well over 50% of the cost of purchasing cut lengths of coil. Make as much coil as you need to the exact length you need when you need it, with little to no operator supervision. Make coil for your own use or for resale. Modular design means the COILMASTER inserter can be purchased separately and be fed with cut lengths of coil at speeds up to 700 books per hour. The COILMASTER automatic plastic coil binding system is the fastest way to bind books and the most efficient and economical way to produce coil for insertion. Built in the US, the COILMASTER system is heavy-duty, built to last, and will save you money on material and on labor costs for years to come.